Coming up in today's video. Is there anything more iconic, more American than the yellow school bus? People are so friendly here, really willing to engage in conversation, talk about their cars, their passions. This is the oldest car here today. It was like somebody was being murdered. Terrifying. In the USA, the 4th of July weekend is a big deal. Families get together, they eat hot dogs and set off fireworks, and it's usually sunny. Unlike here in the UK, where it's raining as always, but that's okay. I'm not going to let that get me down. I've come to the Stars and Stripes show at Tatton Park in Cheshire, which isn't far from Manchester, so quite a drive for me to get here, but this is the biggest event of its kind in the area. I've always wanted to come, and I'm here. So come along with me, ride shotgun as it were, and let's explore. I'm Stuart McLachlan, but you can call me that guy in the Firebird. Let's get to it. Alright, full disclosure, I'm not going to show you everything that's here, it's just too immense for that. But hopefully I can give you a morsel, a taste of the experience. A bit like when you go to Costco and they give out those free samples. I don't know about you, but if I saw this bad boy in my rearview mirror, I'm getting out of the way. This is a two-day event. Today is Saturday, and so far the weather's been okay-ish. It's been a bit overcast, a little bit of drizzly rain, but hey, this is Britain, this is what happens. And I've said it before, if we stopped every time it rained, we'd never get anything done. And as a wise man once said, there's no such thing as bad weather, there's only the wrong clothes. A quick shout out to one of my subscribers, Ollie. I saw this square body Ford F-150 pickup and I thought of you. I think it's a 1985, 1986, something like that. Isn't it amazing? And just take a look at what it's hauling. Perfect for the next apocalypse. I think I can confidently say that the trade stands at this show are among the best in the country. There's so many of them and it's really, really good stuff. I particularly like the US road signs. I used to be a sign maker in a former life, so that sort of thing really appeals to me. But there's other stuff as well. There's all sorts of memorabilia, novelty items, tools, not cheap rubbish. anything more iconic, more American than the yellow school bus. They're a very familiar sight in the US, but here in the UK, not so much. They're quite the novelty. This one behind me has been converted into a very impressive motorhome. When you come to a show as big as this one, you quickly realise that it's not just about the cars. There's all kinds of other stuff going on as well. There's funfair rides. There's even a jet fighter simulator. There was a dog show I saw earlier. Live music. All sorts of things to keep the whole family entertained. And that's really important for the survival of shows like this. You need to give everyone in the family a reason to want to come. For those of you who follow my channel, you'll know that I'm based in the southeast of England, and as such, most of the shows and events that I go to are in that area. But coming here to the northwest of England is great because I haven't seen any of these cars before. The northerners don't seem to want to travel south, and vice versa. Maybe we need to find a happy middle ground. Where would that be? Leicester? Okay, this isn't an American vehicle, but I think it gets an honourable mention because, hey, it's the Tidal van, and it's a big hit with the kids. I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that this is the oldest car here today. 1902 Oldsmobile Runabout. 2002 was a sad year for Pontiac fans like myself because that was the final year of production of the famous Firebird. However, there's a company who have acquired the rights to use the Firebird and Pontiac branding, and they've come up with this. This is what the Firebird Trans Am might have looked like had the production continued beyond 2002. That's the end of day one at the Stars and Stripes show. I am exhausted. I've been walking around all day, filming content, talking to people, and it's been wonderful. People are so friendly here, really willing to engage in conversation, talk about their cars, their passions. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to head back to the campsite now, get some rest, ready to do it all tomorrow, come rain or shine, so stick around. Hold on, stop right there. Enough of this lovely stock footage. After the show closed to the public at the end of day one, I had no idea that the real craziness was still to come. Here's what happened. As it was just starting to get dark, an unofficial cruise set off. People jumped into their pickup trucks, muscle cars, lowriders and police cars to enjoy the petrol-scented evening air whilst doing continuous laps of the now mostly empty show field. It was a perfect excuse to show off. And why not? It was a great spectacle to behold, and there were plenty of people with their phones out taking photos and videos. That big bad Peterbilt from earlier in the video even came out to play, and you really couldn't miss it. I saw so many smiling faces, both from those who were riding in the back of pickup trucks and on ATVs, and also from the crowd that had gathered. It would have been rude not to join in with the fun, so I hastily jumped in the Firebird for a couple of laps. It's a strange feeling to look in your rearview mirror and see flashing police lights, yet have no intention of stopping.
Apprehend that horse-ass for reckless freedom!
But Daddy, he's...
Do what I tell you, you pile of monkey nuts!
As the daylight began to fade, the light shows were all the more impressive. I've always believed that truckers do it best, but seeing these bikes made me question that. What do you guys think? I thought I'd treat myself to a cold beer or two. I rarely drink, but every now and then I do have the occasional treat. I've got to say, it was rather nice. I could hear music coming from the big marquee tent, so wandered in for a look around. There were a lot of people in there, but it didn't feel crowded. And then it happened. The singer invited brave participants to come up and sing some karaoke. My oh my, what an auditory experience that was. To be fair, though some of the singers were pretty good, those who were, let's just say, an acquired taste, were at least having a good laugh whilst doing it. But far be it for me to sit with my cold beer and judge everyone like some kind of pound shop Simon Cowell. I was having such a great time, I volunteered to get up and have a go myself. I may have chosen a Rick Astley song. Yes, that one. How did it go? Well, the eyewitnesses are now hundreds of miles away from me, so I can't ask. But suffice to say, I had a good laugh and the dance floor filled pretty quickly. And just when I thought it was time for bed, I arrived back at the campsite to find a large crowd gathered around a tent. The occupiers just happened to have a PA system, smoke machine, bubble machine, flame machine, and a truly epic laser light show. I'm not talking mobile DJ type stuff, this was high-end professional gear. The lasers were projecting onto the trees, which were several hundred meters in the distance. The camera really doesn't do it justice, but some of the animations were really clever and matched to the theme of the music. The campsite had become a giant after-show party, and it was the most surreal yet fun moment I've had for a long time. Again, this was unsanctioned. It wasn't part of the official show. It was simply a group of campers who happened to have a professional rig, having a good time. Apparently they do this every year and only stop when the security team come over and ask them to. I guess all good things must come to an end. After chatting with some of my camping neighbours for another hour or so, I finally made it to bed, bewildered yet content. I awoke the next morning following heavy rain to the perfectly formed droplets of water on my car. I decided against drying the car as more was expected. It's now day 2 of the Stars and Stripes show. Last night was a lot of fun, but I didn't get to bed till very, very late, so I'm a little tired today, but that's okay. It's all part of the experience. When I finally did get to sleep, I heard a terrible sound coming from the woods. I think it might have been a fox or a badger or something like that. I don't know, but it sounded like somebody was being murdered. It was the most blood-curdling scream you've ever heard. Terrifying. Anyway, it's a bit quieter here today. I think perhaps the weather has put some people off, but it's okay. It's nice and chilled, and there's still loads of amazing cars here. So stick around and I'll show you some more. You've been watching my video of the 2025 Stars and Stripes show in Tatton Park, Cheshire. I've got a few hours driving ahead of me, but I'm so glad I came. It's been an inspirational weekend. I've met so many nice people. They're really friendly here. I think perhaps down in the south we're a bit more reserved. I don't know. We could learn something from our northern cousins. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Stuart McLachlan, and as always, you can call me that guy in the Firebird. See you in the next video.